How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. This is your last chance, possibly, your last chance to get Ethereum before institutions have access to it. This may age poorly, but the thought process is today we are going to see the SEC approve the Ethereum ETFs. We have an idea of when the time might be. We also have an idea of what might come next. CNBC is talking about the next ETF after Ethereum. And I think it's important to look at Ethereum and to look at Bitcoin here today and try to figure out where does this leave us, if this gets approved, if this doesn't get approved. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video. There's also a link to Margex underneath the video where you can trade cryptocurrencies using leverage. There's no KYC. You can set this up in just a few seconds. Maybe you want to go put on a long on Ethereum. You can do that here. So Ethereum, it's moving up today. It's up to $3,920. A lot of people speculating that these ETFs are going to be approved, or the Ethereum ETFs are going to be approved. Okay, let's talk about that. But first, we have to start with the inflows from yesterday. Another positive day of inflows. A little bit lighter volume. A lot of political news yesterday with FIT21. We saw GBTC with an outflow of 16 million. But then we had IBIT with an inflow of 92 million, FBTC with 75 million. And yeah, it ended up being a pretty positive day with $154 million worth of Bitcoin bought from the ETFs. But all eyes are on Ethereum. Ethereum likely to get approved today from the SEC. We've heard rumblings about this all week, kind of just turning on a dime. Let's hear from a CNBC clip what they think is coming next.
The SEC is starting to amend these S1s. So I don't know if the Ethereum ETF gets approved today, next week or the week after. It will get approved at some point in time. But also the trade now is who's next, right?
Exactly. Who is next? Because and I was talking about yesterday, now it's almost time for truly my ETF, my blended ETF of which, which crypto asset it is. And so who is next though?
I mean, I think you've got to think about Solana as probably the next one, right? I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are probably the big three for this cycle. But I'll give you even a stranger, or maybe not stranger, but maybe an unintuitive way to think about it, Robinhood and Coinbase. Because now we have some clarity about what a security is and what isn't. And they'll be able to list a lot more crypto, which means a lot more trading for them. So I think they're the biggest beneficiaries from the change that's gone on.
So BK, really glad to have you here.
Okay, interesting. So that makes sense. If more exchanges can list more cryptocurrencies, they're not worried about regulatory aspects as much. They're going to make more money. They're not going to have to deal with legal fees as much. So yeah, it's beneficial. Keep in mind though, as more ETFs get approved, maybe that does draw a little bit away from those exchanges, but maybe not. Maybe it just brings more money altogether into the industry, which is good, as a rising tide lifts all boats, and these exchanges will have more and more people interested, and they'll be able to buy through there if they want to hold spot. Keep that in mind. Now, we will likely hear by about market close here today. Eric Balkanis says, my best guess is we hear from the SEC around 4 p.m. tomorrow, and he means 4 p.m. Eastern time. For spot Bitcoin, they dropped it around 3:45. Some others in the past were slightly after 4 p.m. Anything possible, though. Okay, so if this happens, I think we're going to see some excitement throughout the day. We're already seeing that now. People are expecting these ETH ETFs, and they're buying up ETH. What happened last time when the Bitcoin ETF got approved is we spiked up. We did spike up from about 44, 46, all the way to 48, 49. And then once we started trading, the very next day, it fell down. It fell down to low 40s and then eventually high 30s. So we actually saw a 25% drop. Now a 25% drop on Ethereum would bring us pretty much back to where we were, 30,000, 32, or 3,000, 3,200, somewhere in that range would make sense, especially because that's where we spent a good amount of time, right? So it will be interesting. I think it depends, again, where Ethereum's price goes depends on Grayscale. Are they going to keep high fees? Are we going to see redemptions and people flooding out of the ETH ETF? Maybe they've been waiting a long time. Maybe they haven't been able to buy or been able to sell. It could cause a bit of a selling event, kind of like we've seen in the past with GBTC for months and months and months. It just bled. But hopefully the demand from the other ETFs balances it out. But keep in mind too, all these people are buying ahead of this ETF. And if for some reason these ETFs don't get approved today, maybe the SEC is rushing them for next week or the week after or something like that. If that happens, ETH will probably fall in price a good amount. So be ready for that. Now, I hope that doesn't happen because honestly, nice little drop there, $100 drop on Ethereum. Honestly, if the ETH ETFs get approved, it's going to be good for the entire space. It is, right? It's going to be good for Solana because Solana might be coming next. It's good for altcoins because maybe we're going to see looser regulation in the future, or just the fact that, hey, more money is going to flood into Ethereum. People that were in Ethereum might flood into altcoins, right? That's always the thought process. So I hope, see this get approved today. I think that'd be really bullish for everyone. It would be good for the exchanges too, because they might be winners, as this analyst says, and that means more money's flooding into the space. These exchanges can go buy Bitcoin. They can go buy other cryptocurrencies because a lot of them do, right? They do go invest in crypto after they make some profit. So yeah, I think this is going to be bullish for the entire market. Now, if Ethereum doesn't get approved, I could see a world where actually Bitcoin moves up. Like, it sounds crazy. I'm just throwing some ideas out there, but like maybe Bitcoin falls down because of harsher regulatory aspects or concerns moving forward with the SEC, that people think, okay, maybe the SEC hasn't flipped as dovish as we thought towards crypto. But also maybe people realize, okay, the trade is still Bitcoin. We still have hundreds of millions of dollars coming into Bitcoin every single day for the last 9 or 8 trading days. Maybe people decide, I'll just put money in Bitcoin. I don't have to go over to Ethereum to try to guess whether the ETFs will get approved. I'm just going to go into Bitcoin. It's safer. I can see people doing that. Now, maybe I'm wrong, right? I'm just throwing out some different ideas out there. Now, right now, we did see a bit of a drop. Let's see if there's any news. Several lawmakers sent letter to Gary Gensler urging him to approve the launch of spot ETH ETFs. Well, that wouldn't make the market fall down. Let's see if there's anything else. It looks like there's not too much news. Maybe just some market fluctuation, right? Bitcoin falling down $1,000, Ethereum falling down $100. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. It would be nice. I think it would be really nice to have some ETF that just covers the entire crypto market, like a legitimate player. Fidelity, BlackRock, and maybe you say they're not legitimate, but some big institution that offers Bitcoin, Ethereum, like all the top 10, top 20 cryptos just in one basket. I think that would be interesting. I think a lot of people would be interested in that. Let me know your thoughts on that underneath the video. If you do want to start trading crypto, you can check out the link underneath the video. And yeah, this might be the last day you can buy Ethereum before large institutions.